Okay, so I'm going to install this hexagonal marble tile on this floor here. I already installed it on the ceiling, and I'm going to mirror that on the floor. Now this is all Schluter products, so I'm going to use an unmodified thin set. This pan has already been flood tested. You can see there's still, I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but it's still damp. So I'm gonna, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dry lay this tile, and then I'm gonna pick it up a row at a time or 2 rows at a time and cement it down. Okay, so this is a drain grate. It comes in 3 parts. It goes like that. This goes on here. And you can push this down to just the height. I'm not going to push it down, I'm just going to push down a little bit right now. You have a little play on it there. So I'm just not going to put this in right this second. So I pre-cut the ends off. This was like this. So I cut those off so I can put it right in the corner. Now I don't have to cut this end straight because the wall tile will cover that. So I'm going to put this right here. Now the same with this one. Okay, seeing this piece came off, so that I don't have to deal with it falling off, I'm just going to put it in place where it goes. Just to hold it in place while I'm walking. So I'm just going to dry lay this whole row. Okay, so to find what size this is, I'm just going to measure from the wall to here, and it's 8.5 inches. So I'm measuring from the inside, and then I'm going to go to the outside here. And I measure my 8.5 inches. And that falls right there. So I'm going to cut this straight across there. Okay, so cut that, put it in. Perfect. Now I'm going to cut that piece out. Okay, so I got all that dry laid. Now I'm going to do to here, and then I'm going to cut the drain in. Okay, so now I'm going to get this put in here. And see approximately which tiles I have to cut out. You don't want to touch this because you don't want to cut that with a blade. It'll cause a leak. See this, you got to play to position it so you get the best possible pieces. See, if I couldn't move this over here, I would have tiny little pieces. So I can position this so I can get decent pieces all the way around. Like that. And then I'll push this down. When I set it in place, I'll push it down. I'm going to push it down a little bit now. And I'll push all the way down when I set it in place. So see here? So I'm going to get decent pieces over here, decent pieces over here, etc., etc. I'm going to set them more or less in the middle. Okay, so I cut it all in and I taped it together, but I'm actually going to move that tape and put the pieces in one at a time. I just did that just to make sure everything fits perfectly. Okay, so I picked these up and I put them in order so that I know exactly where they go. Not that there being much confusion, but I just like to do that. So I'm going to put these in out of the way and put them in when I get to the drain. Okay, so I'm going to pick up a couple of rolls. Okay, so it's hard to see, but I got those all picked up. I'm going to put this row down, and then I'm going to work back to the back wall. And I leave these down so that I have a reference from where to start, and I can fit everything perfectly in. Now I'm gonna get it as even as possible without leaving any lumps. That way the cement doesn't squeeze through the tile grout joints. This is a 4-inch square notch trowel. Kept it as even as possible. I want to put the tile in, it won't squeeze through the joints. So the bottom, I got good coverage. That's exactly what I want. So if you do get squeezing through a little bit, like right here, what I usually do is I use a brush and clean it out. And wipe it off with a sponge. And that way all your grout lines are nice and deep. You need to do it a couple times, you do it a couple times. You leave room for the grout. Okay, so now I'm going to do the last part over here. And make sure this is all filled, because that's what locks everything in place. So I want to make sure that under here is all filled. I'm just gonna get this one sheet in here for now. And push this down even with the tile. Now clean this up a bit and make sure it's spot on. So that's done. I'm not going to touch it anymore. Okay, so the floor is done. Next, the walls.